With Kimi Antonelli's amazing start to the 2026 F1 season, today I wanted to look at F1 success early in driver's career since 1990. And today we're going to be using my race rating model to look at best driver performances in a driver's first 2 years of their career since 1990. For those of you who don't know, my race rating is composed of 4 different parts: driver's ability to get points, their finishing position, and then also their ability to improve on their starting position to get to that finishing position. It also incorporates a version of my expected points model, which takes into account driver's starting position, looks at how many points they should be scoring based on the strength of their car. And so today we're going to be looking at 8 drivers who had very strong race ratings early in their careers in their first 2 full seasons. And so today I'm going to be looking at drivers who had a race rating of 0.9 or better in one of their first 2 seasons. This is about 89th percentile, so pretty exclusive group. And when you look at some of the drivers on this list, all but one has won a world championship, obviously with the exception of Antonelli, who's currently championship leader. So it's a very good sign for Antonelli to be in such great company. Okay, so the first driver on our list is actually Max Verstappen in 2016, 18 years of age in his second season of F1, and of course his first at Red Bull, having switched from Toro Rosso to Red Bull mid-season, which in some ways makes this even more impressive. Obviously picked up his maiden F1 win in his very first race for Red Bull at this 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. Didn't win any more races that year, but did get quite a few podiums. Race rating of positive 0.904, so the lowest of the drivers in this group, but still very impressive. He is the youngest driver in this list. He also is obviously the only one, I believe, who switched teams mid-season, which in some ways makes it even more impressive. Number 7 is Kimi Räikkönen in 2002, 21 years of age at the start of this season, race rating of positive 0.999. This was also his first year with McLaren. Didn't pick up a race win this year. I believe this was an extremely dominant year by Ferrari, but did get quite a few podiums, but was unfortunately beset by quite horrific mechanical reliability that season. Number 6, a bit of an outlier, and of course the only one on this list with the exception of Antonelli who has not won a championship, and that is Kamui Kobayashi in 2010. This was actually Kobayashi's rookie season. He was 23 years of age to start that season with a race rating of positive 1.009. Now, part of the reason why I think Kobayashi had the rating that he did, a little bit misleading, perhaps, is the fact that he had a pretty weak teammate for the majority of the season in a pretty old Pedro de la Rosa, who hadn't had a full-time F1 seat since midway through 2006, where he replaced Juan Pablo Montoya. And if you have to go even further back, I believe to 2002, the last time he had a seat for the entire season. So a bit of a weaker teammate might partially explain why Kobayashi's performances looked as good as they did, but even still, when the team brought in Nick Heidfeld midway through the season, his results still looked pretty good. So a bit of an outlier there, and I think Kobayashi definitely could have had a better career if he hadn't been forced out of Sauber at the end of 2012 to make way for Esteban Gutierrez's money, but so be it. Number 5 is Fernando Alonso in 2003. This is, of course, his second season F1 and his first for Renault, obviously taking 2002 off to be test driver for the Renault team. Race rating of positive 1.225, 21 years of age Alonso was this season, and he of course picked up his maiden win that year at the 2003 Hungarian Grand Prix. Number 4, a bit of an odd one on this list in terms of the fact that he's much older than all the other drivers on this list, and that is Damon Hill in 1994. Now for Hill, race rating of positive 1.325, 33 years of age at the start of this season. He of course had a partial season with the Brabham team the year before. Brabham was absolutely abysmal that year, but coming in 1994, teammates with Ayrton Senna to start the year. Of course, Senna has his tragic accident at Imola, and David Coulthard is drafted in, but that basically meant that Damon Hill was the de facto team leader and was expected to challenge for the world championship against Michael Schumacher very early on in his career. Did, I think, a pretty good job given the circumstances. And so for Hill, while some of his later years might have been a little bit of a struggle, and there's a reason why he's considered one of the weaker world champions of the last 30-40 years, he did have a decent enough 1994 season. Number 3, Michael Schumacher the year before, 1993. This was, of course, at Benetton. Now, technically, this was his third year in F1, but it was his second full season as he did come in midway through 1993 23 years of age this year, race rating a positive 1.923. I believe, of course, this was Prost and Williams' dominant final season, F1 final season for Prost anyway, but still very, very good year by Schumacher. Now, number 2 is Sebastian Vettel in 2008, of course, driving for Toro Rosso. A bit unique here, given that this is one of the, I think, 2 or 3 cars on this list where you can definitely say that it's a midfield car. Kobayashi Sauber would definitely fall into that group, and perhaps the 2002 McLaren, depending on where you think it lies. But for Vettel's 2008 season, very, very strong year. Race rating a positive 2.047 and 20 years of age. Was Vettel at the start of that season. Of course, picked up his maiden win at the 2008 Italian Grand Prix, still a very remarkable race, and had a lot of very other strong performances that year. I think got multiple 4th places and was a good but not amazing Toro Rosso car that was towards the front of the midfield, but still was miles clear of the McLaren and the Ferrari and even the BMW for most of that season. Now, number 1 on this list is actually 5 races into the 2026 season, is Kimi Antonelli, marginally better than Vettel's race rating, positive 2.06, and of course, Antonelli is 19 years of age. 5 races into the 2026 F1 season, Antonelli's won 4 races, he's gotten 3 poles. This rating doesn't take qualifying into account, but still a pretty remarkable fact. Now, for Antonelli, I do think he's gotten a little bit lucky with how he's picked up some of the results. Of course, inherited the win from Russell in the Canadian Grand Prix, benefited from the timing of the safety car in Japan. So I do think that for Antonelli, picking out 4 wins out of 5 for the entire rest of the season with the rate that he's going, I think will be extremely difficult. I don't expect him to be able to keep picking up wins at that rate, but I do think, I expect him to have a very good season with the start that he's had. The European races, I think, will be a big challenge for him. He, of course, scored 0 points in Europe last year, so with the Monaco Grand Prix starting this weekend, that will be, of course, the big real first test for Antonelli, as he's now getting into tracks that he struggled with quite a lot last year. But regardless, still a really impressive season by Antonelli so far. Big improvement from last year in terms of Grand Prix performances. I've been very, very impressed by his race pace for a driver so young. Usually it's the other way around. Usually drivers have exceptional qualifying performances early on, and then the race performances will take a couple of years to get up to speed. We saw that with Leclerc, we saw that with Russell, saw that with Norris as well. But for Antonelli, what he's been doing so far this year, being in some ways equal, better to Russell in race pace in his second season, has been very, very impressive. Will be interesting to see how the season goes along. I do think Russell will be able to fight back, build up a championship challenge, but Antonelli's done a great job for himself in 5 races. It'll be interesting to see where he is on this list at the end of the season. Will he still be number 1, or will he maybe fall down the order a little bit? I think if I do this list again at the end of the season, I personally think he'll probably still be in this top 8 group, but I'm not sure if he'll be number 1. So that's all for this video, looking at drivers with tremendous success early on in their F1 careers. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.